Good morning, everybody, under the stars. And God revealed to me some very special knowledge as I was awake in the wee hours of the morning, meditating and walking with Him. You see, I asked God in those waking hours, how can we know? How would we know evil from good when there is so much disinformation out there? So many distractions. So many things to take our eyes off the prize. So much deception. And people parading and posing as things they are not. How can we know? I asked our Creator. And He immediately answered me with that still small voice. And He said, "My faithful son, you will only know them by their fruit." Now, I had said these words 1,000 times, spoken from my own lips, that you will only know them by their fruit. But for some reason, this morning, it all clicked, and I understood what I was really saying when I said the words, "You will know them by their fruit." And what that fruit is the torus. It is the colloidal field, the Coriolis. It is the apple that makes up our reality. It is the star spin. It is the eyes of good and evil. The eyes of good and evil, the trees that bear fruit, the trees being the retina at the back of each of your eyes, one eye of good and one eye of evil. One side of your brain, the reptilian side, and the other side, the other side, each bearing fruit, and your eyes deceive you. And it all just clicked. We are locked into this reality, this dimension of these trees, the trees of the knowledge of good and evil. And it all clicked that some of us bear the fruit of the good tree, and some of us the fruit of the bad tree. And then I began to ask, which tree is your fruit from? What tree are you producing your fruit from? Falling from which eye, which tree? The tree of the knowledge of good and evil. Which retina? Is your eye single so that your whole body is full of light? Or is it from the dark tree and your whole body is full of darkness? There are many things that are written in the Bible. One is that those who love and those are good, and those who stand up for the Word of God and for God and the true God and the tree of good will be hated. They will be hated in the last days. So when you see the hate coming, and you know your heart is pure and good, you know why. You know why. Now, what you're seeing on your screen is many hours of decoding that I've done on the Star Wars series. Started out with the first Star Wars, and we saw much eye symbology, confirming the inner eye, confirming everything that we've learned on this channel. Many of us have seen Star Wars, but these images were locked away in our subconscious, and we didn't even realize the fact that they've been showing us all along the truth, yet nobody put all the puzzle pieces together until now. And you have to ask yourself, why is all this happening at this time? And I have one answer, that it is written that all that was hidden will be revealed in the last days. The Bible also says that in the days of Noah, that the thoughts of man, all of them would be bad. That there wasn't much goodness left in men's thoughts and ponderings. And that also says that in the last days will be like the days of Noah. And I believe at this point, we are approaching that saturation of evil. And the end times will be much like the dark side against the light side that we see in the Star Wars series. I wanted to put all this together for you guys so you could actually see all of the facts together. And each of these individual parts of the decode are also available in a playlist on this channel. But I believe that no one else has decoded Star Wars in the way that you're seeing it on your screen right now. And this is something that we need to keep at, you guys. 2015, this year, right around Christmas time, the new installment of Star Wars will be releasing. And you can bet everything that I'll be looking in that and decoding it. Not to find the future, but to see the past clearly, because hindsight is 2020. We see the destruction of the Twin Towers. We see anti-dates in this film, Star Wars, that reflect the World Trade Center sacrifice, which is exactly what it was. Though that may be hard for many people to come to terms with. You see, the World Trade Center sacrifice was simply a projection of past pagan rituals handed down generation to generation. It was simply a projection of the enmity between the seeds spoken about in the Bible. And you can see this enmity repeated over and over again in these films. So if it means something to these people, then it must mean something. And that is what I'm getting everybody to try to understand. To try to get the people who don't even believe in a God to understand that your entire reality is based on this enmity and all these ritual sacrifices that are occurring, as the enemy wants to be just like the Most High. This is what I'm trying to help people wake up to. The sacrifice hiding in plain sight. So the question comes back to, once again, where is your fruit from? Are you locked in the cube? Are you locked in this reality, not seeing the bigger picture? Do you have the fruit of the Spirit, which is talked about in the Bible? Do you have love in your heart? Agape, undefeatable benevolence, and unconquerable goodwill. Always seeking the highest of the other, no matter what he or she does. Do you have the self-giving love that gives freely without asking anything in return, and does not consider the worth of its object? Do you have the fruitage of the spirit of joy, deeper than mere happiness, rooted in God Himself, the joy that comes from God? serene stability, not worldly joy, not the empty happiness of money. Where is your house built? On sinking sand or on the rock? Do you have the deep joy of knowing the truth and the unlimited faith of knowing that you are with God because of your actions in this world, in this dimension, even though we walk through the valley of the shadow of death and are locked in this dimension? Do you have the fruitage of the Spirit of peace, resulting in your resting relationship with God? More than just an absence of conflict, peace is the tranquil state of a soul, fearing nothing from God and content with our lot in life. Equilibrium and trusting that everything comes from the hands of God and that He has everything under perfect control. Do you have the fruit of patience? The patience to be slow to anger, rich to kindness, forbearance, long-suffering, and willingness to bear wrongs patiently. The endurance to make it through the end, knowing that God has everything under control. Are you bearing the fruit of kindness? Kindness. Acting for the good of people regardless of what they do. Being a service to others. Goodness. Faithfulness. Gentleness. And self-control. The fruitages of the Spirit. And in the final episodes of Star Wars, we see the convex Earth amongst the stars, reflecting from the inside of the inner eye down onto the convex Earth. We see the similarities in plain sight, plainer than I've ever seen it. Convex inner lens coming up through the iris of the eye and into the cavity of the eye. The stars laid out like the seats, our seats in heaven, the seats against the inside of the eye, the exact pattern, the exact star span that we've been talking about on this channel, that we've seen repeated over and over again throughout movie history, going back decades and even almost to the turn of the century. They knew all along. And now when we put all the pieces together, we see also the 329 showing up throughout film. I don't know why. And I think that it has very little to do with me other than the fact that I was born on that date. And I would be some kind of a testament to uncovering the truth. But then the meaning of 329 goes much, much deeper than any one man. So I leave you guys today with all of this information and lots of things for consideration. And just encourage you always, always keep goodness and the fruitages of the Spirit in your heart. Take care and be safe.